Hello everyone. In this session, I'll be dealing with question 2 of your English language paper, ISC 12. In question 2, there are two sections, 2A and B. 2B is proposal writing. I'll come to that later. Today particularly, I'll be dealing with 2A, which covers the whole arena of writing skills like application of a job, report, newspaper report, appreciation of a book or simply book review, then review of a cultural program, then we have a film review, then testimonials and statement of purpose, and finally speech writing. Now, out of these, most common are reports and reviews. Nevertheless, we should be prepared with all types of possible questions that might come to you for question 2A. Now, in case of the first type that I said, first variety, that is application for a job to a company, you have to keep your personal profile ready to show your suitability for the job. Usually you don't get such questions very frequently, but just to be on the safe side, you keep a wonderful biodata CV ready, a common one, and some technical details you must know, which are the eligibility criteria for various kinds of jobs. For example, you should know when there is an opportunity or a vacancy for an engineering post, then what kind of eligibility, what kind of qualification they might want you to have. If you are looking for some maybe graphic designers, then you should have some knowledge of multimedia and designing and all that. So these are common general knowledge which you are to apply here. If it's a marketing based job, then you should have some degree or diploma in marketing and in managerial courses. If it is a teacher's job or a professor's job, then you should be a master degree holder or a PhD holder and postdoc and so on. So in this way, various job opportunities, they require different kinds of qualifications. So it's better to prepare a CV and you know what technical qualities are required of you. But in your CV, always remember to put down your achievements, your laurels, your of course the academic section is very important, but other than that, where you see yourself 10 years hence, okay, and all this stuff to glorify your CV. So this is one variety. The second variety, which is common, you usually get to write reports. Now reports again are of two types: newspaper reports and magazine reports. Under report writing, when you get newspaper reports, those are basically events or incidents which have happened recently, and you are giving a entire narrative of what has happened. Okay, there can be accidents, they can be based on natural calamities like earthquake, flood, etc. Then it could be some kind of you could say a stampede or some kind of fire, breaking out of fire. So mishaps, accidents, from this point of view, the newspaper reports are usually given. Okay. When you're writing a newspaper report, the things that you have to remember is the place, the date and the time. And I would suggest that you look into standard English daily, for example the Statesman or the Telegraph or the Times of India, and see how they begin. Usually it is the place, then the date, and then the time is not always mandatory, place and date. Okay, for example Kolkata 22nd Feb. Okay, or Feb 22nd, and then you put a colon and you begin the introductory line. Now remember, the introductory line has to be pretty long. Okay, I repeat, the introductory line has to be pretty long, covering all the details of it. Now, why so? Because whenever a person is reading a newspaper, maybe he is doing it for before going to the office or before going to the school or college or whatever may be his line of planning of that day. So usually when the newspaper comes in the morning, people are very busy, so they go through the headlines. I'm coming to the headline also a little later. Usually they will first read the headline. If the headline draws his attention, then he would read through the news, but not the entire news. Maybe he will just skim. He will just scan. He would not go through the minute details, but he would read the first para. And often it is seen the first para is actually a very long sentence, extremely long sentence, which consists of the introductory line. So you have to be, particularly the introductory line has to be covering, it should be so long that it covers the basic details, maybe the place where the accident has happened, the date, the time, and also the people who have been involved in it, okay, and at what junction or what juncture, that also you could write. And also maybe the source of the accident, like if it is kind of you could say breaking off signal, or it could be drink and drive, or it could be some kind of racing that happens on road, which is quite common. So all this could be given as a reason. So what I mean to say that is introductory line should be long. It could be even the first sentence could also be as long as to form a single paragraph. Okay, then you go to the body, and then finally the conclusion. Remember that in newspaper reports you are expected to give some quotations. Quotations in what sense? Suppose if it is an accident, suppose an earthquake has happened, and the disaster management team has come to rescue them, and they are giving some on-spot dialogues over there. Okay, you as a reporter, you are talking to them and they are giving you some on-spot remarks. So that remark has to be put under quotes, and they are taken as live quotations. Okay, the one of the disaster management, one person from the disaster management team remarks that remarks, and then the quotation begins. In my entire life, I have never come across such a devastation from earthquake. This is really a pathetic one, and many people are suffering. Okay, and then quotation ends. So this is a live quotation that he puts forward. So in this way, what you do is you actually are making your report more interesting, as if it's a first person dialogue that you are putting forward. So in this way you can actually make your presentation, your report presentation would be more interesting. So this is how the newspaper report goes. The second kind is the magazine report. In magazine report, it is usually for your school magazine or your company's magazine, and so you have to be more specific about it. It's more function oriented, or it's more program oriented. So you have to give details of the program, but you have to remember that you mention the chief guest's name attending the program, the main agenda of that particular program, what are the it could be a prize distribution ceremony, it could be an science exhibition, it could be an annual day show, it could be a sports meet, whatever it is, you have to give the agenda in detail. Okay, and in both the cases, heading is very important in case of newspaper report as well as magazine report, because it draws the attention of the reader. So you have to really think about the title or the heading, and there could be a byline also below the heading. Okay, for example, a devastating fire kills 100. Okay, if this is the heading, then down there could be a tagline. Okay, the government or the authority is astounded, or astounds the government, or astounds the authority. So in this way, a byline, a tagline could be added to it. So in this way, you can always go for a very interesting title, and you should remember that it should be well connected to the theme. Besides report writing, you have review of a book and a film. In both cases, you should always be ready with a good book and a good film review. You must watch it yourself and read the book yourself before writing the review. And details of books and film review I'll be taking in another session. And you also get to write testimonials and statement of purpose, or SOP. Statement of purpose is when you are putting up an application to go to some other university. You have to write why you want to join that university or that institution, and what is the purpose of your taking that particular course. So you have to give it in detail. That is a statement of purpose. And testimonial is usually based on your credibility in your own school where you have been studying. Okay. And usually this is given by the authority of the school or the institution where you have already studied, and you are going forward for higher studies, and you are taking the testimonial from the authority of your school. So these are statement of purpose and testimonial. And finally we come to speech writing. Speech writing is usually when you are giving a morning assembly speech, or maybe an annual day speech, or a farewell speech. So each of this kind have their own purposes, which again I will go into detail in some other session, and where you can really have to be the speaker, the sole speaker, and the speech should be a bit interactive as well. It should not be just a one-sided lecture. The speech will also be considered to be more significant if it is based on some real life anecdotes. It will make your speech more lively, and it will catch the audience. So this is all about 2A of English language ISC. Hope you will be concentrating on your writing skill with more care and concentration. Best of luck.